This is going to be a shorter video, but it's equally important. So the music scene, as you all know, is a cult. It's owned by the Saturnians. The music scene is owned by the Saturn Cube, the music industry, the Ministry of Music. So back in 8th grade, I'm just going to explain a little bit about myself. I used to listen to this band called Ministry, which makes industrial music. Ministry, industrial. Get it? Okay, listen. So back in 8th grade, I used to do amphetamine ADHD pills in 8th grade. And this made me really, because I was already a bass player. I was in junior high school. Again, 8th grade. Just keep that in mind. I started doing amphetamines in 8th grade. Okay, lifelong addiction until I beat it. In around 2020, I beat my addiction to amphetamines. I'll never do them again. It put me on to a lot of different music. And what I tell you about hell, when you're in hell, your mind syncs up with things in hell. So, law of attraction. Okay? So back in the day, I used to listen to this band called Ministry. Alright, it's no secret that Al Jorgensen, he did meth and possibly still does meth. That's the lead singer of this band. And here is an album cover by them that I used to listen to back in junior high. I was very young and I couldn't comprehend what any of this meant. So this is, back in the day, people still trusted politicians. So they were the false Christs of their time. They were the antichrists. So you see how he has the skull and bones tattoo on one wrist, the square and compass on another, the 322. Then you have all the industry in the background, the stealth bombers. And you see that it's a mock-up of Jesus, the false Christ. His pineal gland is the Illuminati triangle, the top of the pyramid, the crown of thorns, the mind. There's all this symbolism. And Ministry has another album. Remember, they're industrial heavy metal music. Ministry has another album called The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste, because the mind is hell. So their album is called The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste, because this place is hell. And the only escape is your heart. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in God. You have to believe in yourself. Otherwise, you're fucked. You're not going to go anywhere. In 2024, they released Hopium for the Masses, Sphinx Tour, House of the Mole, From Beer to Eternity, Relapse. So, why am I showing you this? Because this scene in music is very occult. Okay, it's very occult. They know a lot about this reality. So another industrial band, you have to remember, this is the Machine. Alright, this is the Machine. Skinny Puppy. Skinny Puppy. They made a song called Assimilate off their album Bites. And it's about the machine, rot and assimilate. Don't rot and assimilate. But this is a revival. There's nothing new under the sun. You have to remember, there's nothing new under the sun. So this is a revival of something which existed at some point in time in a different simulation. Let me get some water. Their logo is a scepter. One of their albums is called Warlock. Okay? So they're from Canada. This is an old scene in music. While it is new, there's nothing new under the sun. So it's a creation, a recreation of something old. Everything is. So there's another band which is not industrial music. It's heavy metal music. Static X. And they released an album called Machine. Wisconsin Death Trip. Machine. You're going to find all of these music albums that are about what I'm telling you. So we're in the Machine. Here's the album cover for that. I'm not actively asking you to go. It's everywhere. The symbolism for it is everywhere. So you see how it says Machine, and there's a bunch of zeros and ones. Static X. Jesus, X, the bird. Remember how Twitter's logo used to be a bird? X. You get it. Okay, so what was I going to show you next? Back to the industrial music. There's this band called Pigface. This has to do with them mocking Jesus. So, Seuss, pig, Jesus, je suis. Je suis means I am, and then Jesus, if you break it down etymologically, it means pig. Zeus in Latin means pig, so they're mocking Jesus. I'm not mocking Jesus, they're mocking Jesus. Okay, so pig face was formed from Ministry's The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste tour. It's about the mind, pig face. It's the kingdom of the mind. It's a super group. Look how many members it has. From the whole industrial scene, Killing Joke, Ministry, Public Image, LTD, all kinds of people. I'm going to show you a song called Newtopia that I listened to back in 8th grade when I was an 8th grader doing amphetamines because I was fucking insane. Because people would give me these pills and they made me feel good, so I took them. I'm so glad I did it because I wouldn't be who I am now today. So this song says, my generation. I saw the best minds of my generation running on empty, superglued to the TV, dreaming of prosperity, talking incessantly, saying nothing, because it's a system of nothing. So everyone collectively is obsessing over nothing. And most of what they're obsessing over is this. A lot of what's in this world is a rat trap. It just keeps you there, you know? It doesn't let you leave. Hamster wheel. So it's like a hamster on the eternal wheel. That's the wheel of samsara. That's the hamster going in circles, not really going anywhere, always in the center. That's why you have that song, Stuck in the Middle with You. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. The moon is quite holy. Get it? There's holes in it. Holy. Swaying robotically to non-existent rhythms. This goes back to it's the system of nothing. So everything, this is why they call Lucifer the king of nothing. And remember, he's the ruler of this universe, and he rules over all the music with the cube. He uses the artificial intelligence of Saturn, which is the cube. It's just his intelligence mirrored into a device. So that's what he does. But you see, that's what this is about. Watch all bridges collide. That's about the dualities merging after 9/11. When was this released? This was released in 1997. So in 9/11, you have the timeline split, and then they're merging. The two become one. That's 9/11. I shouldn't even say that to you, but that they've already been telling you. The man-made DNA that spirals breathlessly out of control. So they gave me an mRNA vaccine, which modified my fucking DNA and infected it with artificial intelligence, most likely. Could you believe that might be the least worst outcome of that? So Newtopia is about the New World Order. And Ministry, who collaborated with Pigface, knows about this because they have a song called NWO. NWO. Okay. Sky high with a heartache of stone. You'll never see me because I'm always alone. That's what the New World Order does to me. It's what does it. If you wake up, this is what it does. They basically send you to the streets or to wherever you are, and you're going to be getting tortured so much that you start doing drugs. That's what it means. Sky high with a heartache of stone. You'll never see me because I'm always alone, because the New World Order is separating me from everyone because they're satanic. How to love without a trace of dissent. I'll buy the torture, you pay for the rent. Tied high with a broken command. All alone to the promised land because you have to go to heaven alone. This is hell. What we are looking for, or what we are looking at, is good and evil, right and wrong, a new world order. That was George W. Bush. Jesus built my hot rod. Stigmata. All this Jesus symbolism. And why is the band called Pig-Faced? Zeus means pig. They're calling us, they're mocking us. Please just follow me. It's all there. It's all there. They're mocking the asses, the masses, the ones who follow their own tails into the slaughterhouse. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. I'm telling you the truth. Alright, it's right here. Wait. Albums. Sorry. So the band is called Pigface. We are the pig faces, kept in the Matrix, kept in the Newtopia time loop, beast system time loop. So you go here to all the albums, notes from the underground. You notice how the left eye has a thing on it. 6, Clubhead. There's one album I'm looking for specifically that really puts into perspective. It's called Fook. And the album cover is just a little bit disturbing. So I just want you to imagine you took a lot of drugs and you looked at this album cover. What do you think you'd see? What do you think they're talking about? We're all in these corpses, and they want to emphasize that and disturb you with that. It's a very gross world we live in. And now there's people making noise outside. Truth will out. Yes, truth will out the lie. That's what I'm doing right now. Gub gub. These albums are all connected, okay? Now there's someone outside screaming. You might be able to hear that. I'm trying to think here. Was there anything else that I wanted to show you? So we're going to continue along here. Okay. You have Spine Farm Records. They host bands such as Killing Joke, Bullet for My Valentine, Scorpions, Black Veil Brides, Royal Thunder, Electric Wizard, Atreyu. Atreyu is the main character's name from the Never-Ending Story. The Never-Ending Story is thought. Your brain is the never-ending story. Your thought process. Once you get beyond that, the story ends. In that fashion, yes. And now again, the moment I start recording, there are people making noise outside. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Big Machine label group, because it's a big machine. Okay. I think that should be pretty obvious. Just looking if there's any more. I guess not. So, if you remember, I told you I saw a red dragon. There's this band called the Brownings, and completely by chance, I happened to stumble on this album cover with a red dragon that looks pretty similar to the red dragon that I saw, and it's called the Browning. So they have all these different tells through the music. Maybe that doesn't seem very important to you, but it clearly is to me. So, KMFDM, another one of these bands, same story. So I think this is their first album, Nile. It's pretty good album. Juke Joint Jezebel. Remember, Lilith and Jezebel are basically the same thing. They're like, put it like this. You know how you have Osiris and Isis? Well, then you have Lilith and Lucifer, Jezebel and Satan, and that's what it is. Just couples, basically. So if you've ever ran into Lilith, or if you've ever ran into Jezebel, you know how they act. You know that they're not, they're ancient beings. And they're not so easy to be around. Remember, they're ancient. And I don't think they wipe their memories. I think they have full memory recall and the ability to remember past lives. Because remember, they're the ones running this matrix. They're the ones running this matrix. Lilith and Lucifer, Jezebel and Satan. That's what it is. The Box, Roddy Ricch. It's 3 minutes and 33 seconds long. You know, you have all these different bands with the symbolism. Okay. And here's Kid Rock. Let's look at his albums. I don't listen to Kid Rock. I don't know anything about him. Devil Without a Cause, Rock and Roll Jesus, Polyfuse Method, Born Free, Early Morning Stone Pimp, Fire It Up, fire it up. Okay, so back to what I'm trying to show you. So Korn is another popular band, and they made this album called The Nothing, which is about the never-ending story and the nothing, which is just the machine. As you can see, the guy's wired into the machine. Nothing is the machine, it's the system of nothing. It's the 13th studio album, and it was released on September 13th. So there's more evidence that there's number work at play here. And he says this about his album, Jonathan Davis: I went through hell last year and had to purge what I was going through and bring the listener through that experience. I don't know how to explain it, but it takes me over. When you hear me break down and cry, it's not fake. It's how I get it out. Some people go to a shrink. My music is that for me. I feel similarly. The darkness is revealing. Okay. So there's another album. Remember Who You Are. See You on the Other Side. This one's good too. Here, I found it. So you can see here you have the writers of the song. And one of the writers of all these songs is a production team called The Matrix, which formed in 1999. So what year in what month in 1999? That's a good question. I don't know. It doesn't say. Lauren Christie, Scott Spock. You can see that they've performed on a lot of popular artists' music. Avril Lavigne, Hilary Duff, Britney Spears, Ricky Martin. You guys know about Ricky Martin? Ricky Martin, Rocky Schwacky.
Zaljubljena moja žena u nekog kretena, polako se prema meni gasi ljubav njena i na zidu njegov poster ne mogu da shvati. Piše lepo ispod slike pevač Riki Martin. Aj Riki Martine, brate shvati me, ne može se oko nje. Aj Riki Martine, brate shvati me.
Okay, that was a bit of a meme, but Chief Handler just replied to me because I'm trying to get him to out himself, and I already kind of have. Just read this conversation. Bro, you're breaking down, man. Someone needs to lift you back up. I asked him if he believed in God. You know what he said? No, I don't have imaginary friends. That's what you want to say to me? You're insane. Crazy. You're crazy. And I said, I know what you're doing. You can pretend like you have no idea what I mean when I say that. And he says, if I were you, I'd give up. Oh, real believable, bro. Real mature, guys. Okay. Okay. Dot. I'm not gonna tell him. You guys can tell him. So back to the topic at hand. You have that song Rooster by Alice in Chains. That's about me and anyone else who's a revelator in this construct. So let's pull that up. If I can find it. Rooster by Alice in Chains. It's also about Vietnam, but as you can see, you can read in between the lines, as most people cannot. Read in between the lines. The rooster, the one who wakes everyone up. Here they come to snuff the rooster. They come get the rooster. You know he's not gonna die. You know he ain't gonna die. Some about the military, and it's about this world being a spiritual war. So if you start roosting, they're gonna get mad at you. Okay. The song Coming Undone by Korn is similar. But looks so tough, so delicate. I thought my demons were my friends. Pity me in the end, they're out to get me. So, there's another song, Last Resort. There's one other person in this world that I know that has commented on the symbolism in all these different music videos, and he sees it very similarly to me. Papa Roach.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
Okay. Y'all know this song. Everyone knows this song. You see this? This is the game chessboard. This is the game. And then that's the audience. And also the demons that are surrounding you. It's symbolic. You're surrounded in the ring. The boxing ring. You're boxing like 18 people at once. At least I am. I'm boxing like 18 people at once, and I'm not joking. And one day, I saw more than 100 of these gang stalkers. I'm not lying to you. I haven't lied about one thing on this fucking channel. I'm telling you the truth. 100 plus people in one day gang stalking one person. You think about that for a second. That's ridiculous. And I'm not even doing anything. So yeah, this song is about being stuck in the cube. Suicide is a last resort. Remember, this is the game. They torture people mentally here. So it makes sense that people try to kill themselves. You have to remember these people are really weak. That's why they rape and kill children, because they're really weak. And they need to get the energy from the children, and then they become all strong. But after they use that energy, it's gone forever, and they need to do it again, or they die. So that's what it is. And Papa Roach knows the secret about the insectoids. God damn it, Papa Roach. Because there are some people who are like cockroaches. There are some people who are basically every insectoid you can imagine. What kind of insectoids do I encounter mostly? Mostly hive beings. They kind of look like flies. That, or they look like cockroaches. So you see this album is called Infest, and it's got a cockroach. When I was a kid, I was shown a movie about talking cockroaches. I was shown a bunch of bug stuff as a kid, so I know that it's true. I'm surrounded by bugs, and so are you. But there's not all of them are bad. Some of them will even help you. So why can't I find this album? Between Insects and Angels. Why can't I find that? Between Angels and Insects. So you're either an angel or you're an insectoid. And if you're an insectoid, you're evil. Not all the insectoids are evil. Some of them might be angels, but just to put it into perspective, most of the insectoids I've met are working for Satan. And Satan he can take on any form he wants to. But when I saw Satan, he was something different. He comes in a lot of different forms. The insectoids, so I explained this on 4chan. I'm going to pull it up again. Sorry, I have it saved, but I'm just going to do it again. So, these insectoids look like this. Okay. They look very vivid. I'm trying to get you this one right here. This one. If you zoom in, you can see other faces, hundreds of faces in the middle section, and that has to do with divine geometry. So things went from 0 to 1,000 real quick, and I began seeing things like this in the hundreds. It's always like 100, never more than that. Whenever I saw more than that, I saw like thousands of eyes. I saw thousands of little insectoids. So I'll show you the other insectoids that I'm talking about. Okay. I'll show you the other insectoids I'm talking about. These are like isopods, but they look like insectoids. And I'll explain the story behind it, so you're not. This is a Kid Cudi music video where he's surrounded by shape-shifting demons. So this Kid Cudi music video is called Day and Night. The lonely stoner likes to free his mind at night. There's demons everywhere. It took me like an hour to make that GIF. It's annoying. So where have I put it? Documents. Yes. So here we go. So these insectoids right here, their feet were swimming. There were thousands of them. They were tiny. When I closed my eyes, I saw them fully, but I was looking at a black screen and I started seeing them in the black screen, these like isopod things. So there were some of them that looked like this, most of them looked like this, and you could see them like swimming around. And this was out of nowhere. This was out of nowhere. I didn't even know why it happened. So I think they poisoned my food with insectoid eggs. I'm not joking. So like maybe I sound absolutely fucking retarded right now, but just think about what I just told you. There are parasites in my brain and body, changing my reality. Have you seen that show Black Mirror? It's related to all of this. It's related to this technology, the abyss, and whatnot. They've been parodying things. All of this stuff right here has what I've got. All of this stuff that I listed right here. So, so I can see it. The story writer, the never-ending story, time paradox, time magic, Saturn computer manipulation. The time magic they're doing is just Saturn computer manipulation. Signs and symbols, patterns, chaos dynamics, synchronicity, memory recall, and gang stalking, all connected. All of that happened to me, and then I looked it up online. I saw that other people were using the same terms, memory recall, time paradox, gang stalking. When the gang stalking started happening, it was immediately apparent to me that it was gang stalking. I just call it gang stalking. And I realized that it's a code word so that they can identify you. So just right out the gates here, if I die suddenly of COVID or suicide, know that it wasn't COVID or suicide. Okay. It wasn't COVID or suicide. So this is an insectoid picture that I generated myself. I created this on my own, and as you can see in the picture, you see thousands of these like insectoids. Look at this. I'm trying to show you. This video or this photo editor is terrible. I hate it. I'm gonna have to open it up in Chrome. So I generated using this program right here, Wildfire. God damn it. Wildfire. It's a fractal computer program. So Saturn fractal computer. You use this to create fractal artwork. I can do pretty much anything on a computer, including this, making very high quality artwork like this. The thing is that it's not that hard to do it, and there's no demand for it. Do you notice how this looks like a demon? Or like an animal? It looks more like an animal, less like a demon. So these are generated using algorithms. This is algorithmic art. Algorithms and equations that generate these pictures. I think this is an example of it, actually. Hopefully I can read this. So this is what the program looks like. You use it to create fractal artwork. And this is what I created. I'm going to show you in the midsection of this photo. You're going to see all kinds of like demons, not just insectoids, but if I had sat there and rendered it for a little bit longer, it would have been better. So pay attention to the center, the dead center, as I scroll through here. Do you see all the demons? This is mirrored on the y-axis. This is a y-axis, or maybe it's an x-axis mirroring, I don't know. But what you do is you take the fractal, and using the program, you mirror it. So you generate one side and then you mirror it. And after you mirror the one side over the other, it's the same side. So you can see that it's identical on both sides. It's symmetrical. And in that symmetry, you can see all kinds of like demons and stuff. So I think right now that I'll end it there, and I'll edit together what I have. But that's what's been going on with me. And I'm sorry if this video is all over the place. I'm trying to get a lot of different things out at once. You have to see that all the music that's being made and published by these record labels it's all controlled by the Matrix. All of it. Same with the television, same with the books. That's why when you see books on gang stalking, you can't trust them. That's why when you see books on spirituality, a lot of the time you can't trust them. And here's the thing. One of my favorite teachers, Jiddu Krishnamurti, he wrote books. That was a much different time. We're no longer in 1950. We're no longer in 1981. It's so easy to throw together a fake book. You can use AI to do it. You can do it yourself. And then publish that for money. That's what they're doing. It turned into a business pursuit. It's a business venture nowadays. It's not what the truth should be about, though. Back in the day, it's more acceptable. But nowadays, we know that this place is fake, and we know that pretty much everything's a trap. I mean, if someone comes to me with an offer with money, I can't even really entertain it most times because of Satan's bullshit. And I don't like money anyways. So I don't ask anybody for money, except for people who are close to me when I need it. And I'm not going to be asking any of you for money or subscribers. So what else do I want to say? Last time I'll say it. The intent is not to lead anybody astray from God, to scare anyone, or obviously the intent is not to lead you from God. So that's the deception that Satan would work into you. It's just ridiculous. You have to talk about the bad things if you want to get to the actual truth of what's going on here, because the bad things are what's gatekeeping you. Or rather, the people who are doing the bad things are actually gatekeepers. So I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm freely sharing this with all of you. And a lot of people who would go ahead and write a book about gang stalking, if you're being honest, does not seem like gatekeeping. Because they know everything about this game that completely destroys people's lives. But we don't. But they have enough knowledge to write a book about it. It's not authentic. You know, they write these books all the time about gang stalking nowadays. And you know they're fake. They do the same thing with these YouTube videos. Fake gang stalking videos. It's a program. Alright, it's a program. It's a program trying to just figure out what kind of a person you are, really. That's why you don't give them any sort of reaction. So I see demon faces everywhere, and I'm going to say it one more time. The hive mind, a lot of the time, puts bots out. So when you see there are bugs in your skin, and it's a meme, that's the insectoid hive mind fucking around with Earth. So I'm going to show you. It's an Autobot system. Autobot. There are bugs under your skin, peel them off. They're automatically doing this because their minds are conformed to a fucking computer. Because they're supposed to be. They work with the cube. You wonder why all of this comes out at once and so quick. It's a hive mind. It's a cube. Or it's the cube. So throughout my life, and I'm sorry about this, okay? Like I'm sorry that I don't really... Because that's the thing, I did do that. I did sit down and make cohesive videos, but the thing is, right now, I'm trying to piece it all together, and you're just seeing that. So back in the day, all throughout my life, actually, I've been through different sections of the Matrix Cube, the cube. I've been through different sections. Everyone has. Everyone's been through different sections of the cube, especially if you're going to 1,000 different places at once. So I've seen the inside of the cube, and I've seen the technology of the cube. And I know enough to know that a lot of the people who are coming out and pretending to be, of the heart, of the truth, are not. And you will know them by their fruits. Also their actions. If they're saying shit like, basically if they're praising any of these names, Lucifer, Satan, if they're praising any of these, the Antichrist, you already know whose side they're on. They're not on God's side. So you don't have to think about that too much. You don't have to waste too much time. They put little hints for their followers in there, so that the ones who are of Satan know that they are too. So language can be used to cast spells. Everyone knows this at this point. Word spells, language spells. They're mass casting spells on people. Time loops, Freemasons do this. Masonic is a way of arrangement mathematically. So when you're doing something, let's say that we did something Masonically, you'd be doing it in a mathematical, concise way, consistent way. So when they fuck you over, that's what they're doing. Double crossing you. And they take a lot of, this is kind of their art. They love doing this. I hope you realize. Squaring and circling someone. Squaring and circling someone. What does that mean? You can only know what that means if you're being gang-stalked. Because that's the game. Gang-stalking is the game. How do you play the game? I actually don't know. I think you need money, and I'm dead fucking poor, so. This is the game. This flesh suit is the game. You leave this flesh suit, you leave this world. So it's a single serving experience. Time is very... If you've ever broken outside the veil of time, you realize how flimsy time itself is. And that's the thing. If you escape time and you don't fully leave the matrix, what's going to happen to me is going to happen to you. Or what happened to me is going to happen to you. So I went into a complete state of silence, and these two archons stopped me. I showed you what one archon looked like. I wasn't able to find any other pictures, though. So I'm going to try to find one of its face. So there was one archon, and then there was this yellow dragon thing. The archon was wearing a black cloak, and he was going like this. And they were, I'm pretty sure, trying to replace me into the mental matrix which I had just escaped. And they used AI to do it, since ever since then, when I close my eyes, the artificial intelligence is looking at me. So I'm trying to look for a picture of the reptilian, what it looked like. It kind of looked like this, actually, but it was wearing a cloak. So very similar to a raptor's head. Very similar to a raptor's head. But there was one picture I found not long ago, I'm not selling my soul, not long ago, that proved it to me. Or not proved it to me, it how do I word this? It looked pretty much deadpan, and it was also wearing a cloak. I don't know if I'm going to find it. Little gray archon aliens and mind parasites. That's what they are. They're mind parasites. So they're tiny bugs, right? I've already seen them. They look like this. What the hell? Okay. They look like this. This is what the parasites look like, at least. They look like little tiny bug creatures. I'm trying to think if right, there's this one song I'm going to show you. So this is them admitting to being bugs. It's by the Urinals. It's a song called I'm a Bug. It says this: I'm a bug, so are you, baby. So these people are probably bugs. Black hole. It's all in the symbolism. Okay. I did show you another song, which someone else showed me, called Lucky Number 9. That's supposed to be me. This is about the Matrix. This is about the year 2000. And you have to remember that this album came out in New York City on 9/11, and on 9/11 they released this song, NYC is Like a Graveyard. Of course they're not showing that. NYC is like a graveyard. Like, look, it says this here: New York City's like a graveyard. All the corpses like the way I play my guitar. We're in the corpse suits. Corporation, corpse. So, the Moldy Peaches are another Matrix band. These are the Moldy Peaches. We are the Moldy Peaches, the fruit of the flesh. All tapped. Nice. So we are the Moldy Peaches in the Matrix. And everything we do in one life, you can live a million lives, and you won't remember a goddamn one of them because you're not in their cube matrix. The cube saves all their memories. That's how Lilith and Lucifer have all their memories of past lives. They're gatekeeping knowledge. They're keeping people separated from their souls and making them live in what equates to a computer. That's what, well, it's not even what equates to a computer. It is a computer.
I'm Kimya.
I'm Adam.
We're the Moldy Peaches!
In Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada!
So all of reality is an inside joke. Apply what I just told you to everything you see, and you will have one of the keys.
The word peaches and rock, Moldy Peaches.
Well, it's all very scientific, Nardwar. There's this chemical compound.
No, please, tell me the history.
This is Star Wars, okay? The spice melange. I'm not saying they're doing the spice melange, I'm just saying. Star Wars. I'm sorry I keep readjusting my glasses.
Peaches in rock. There's like eat a peach.
Oh.
And there's the rock and roll band Peaches from Canada.
Oh yeah. Canada.
Yeah.
Canadian content, some peach there. And there also is the famous quote, Steve Miller, I really like your
Corey Hart.
I want to shake your
Thing.
peaches. And then there's a President of the United States of America who have their
Brian Adams.
no, have their peaches.
Peaches.
But you're the Moldy Peaches.
Wayne Gretzky.
Wait a second here, we're not quite on the same wavelength. The Moldy Peaches.
Oh yeah.
Peach.
All I ever think about is drowning. Download porn with Dave Lowe. Download porn with Dave Lowe. Put a latch on the door, so Mama knows download porn with Dave Lowe.
We live in a very different time. When I first started learning how to see, ironically it was because of the gang stalking. So everything that they do to me I can see some aspect of what they're doing. So if they're stalking me, I'm going to see that whether I want to or not. If they're mentally abusing me, I'm going to see that whether I want to or not. If they're sexually abusing me, I'm going to see it whether I want to or I don't. And they have, very recently, did something to me in my sleep. I'm not joking. I'm not making this up for attention or sympathy. I want them to stop.
And why is there so much cocking in the moldy peaches?
I don't know.
Come on, drugs, porn, dicks, joke, filthy humor.
I don't know.
Kimya, are you still there? Are you still there?
You're gonna make her cry.
Do you cry sometimes on stage, Kimya?
Oh.
Kimya of the Moldy Peaches and Adam of the Moldy Peaches here, live at the Commodore Ballroom, backstage with the Moldy... The Moldy Peaches. Now, City Search magazine described you guys as Dungeons and Dragons with a secret kinky sex obsession.
Everything is encoded. Do you see how that guy's a bird?
We're actually,
A cock, a chicken, and then you have Spider-Man next to him.
what was it? Mazes and monsters.
Yeah. Mazes and monsters, man. Not Dungeons and Dragons, mazes and monsters. My glow in the dark with pink cat laces, zebra striped.
Now, this is what I'm curious about. What about Tom Hanks? Because, Kimya, your cousin is Fab, right?
Yeah.
And he plays in the Strokes. And I guess what I was curious about was, could you give us a little bit of insight? There's that rumor going around that Julian, the singer of the Strokes, was the kid in the movie Big.
Yeah, no. He was, he played the young Bill Murray in Air Bud 2 Wide Retriever.
All right, Moldy Peaches, thanks so much. Keep on rocking the free world and do-do-do-do-do. No, not quite. Do you beat me to it? No, Moldy Peaches, do-do-do. That's amazing. Do-do-do-do. Moldy Peaches, do-do-do. Moldy Peaches, do-do-do.
We're in the Matrix. Okay. Alright, do you see? I'm gonna show one more thing. And this is the most blatant insectoid parasites I've ever seen in my life. Okay. So these beings are of the mind. You will know them by their fruits. I don't even know how I found this. Just one day. It's an insectoid. It's an ancient worm demon, artificial intelligence parasite. Just look. You're gonna see what I mean. Did you catch that? Let's check comprehension. So you see how they have worms all over the album cover, aliens, Andrew Tate as a pig, remember Double Cross Swine, Disco, this is the Disco, the Grand Divine Black Comedy of Saturn, the Disco Ball. You see how there's worms everywhere? So you see how they're talking about slugs and worms? The bizarre math behind ultra-fast worm blobs? That they're parasites that exist in my body and in your body and project themselves outwardly to fuck with you. This is an example of them doing it to me. So these are your gang stalkers. These are ancient insectoid worm demons that control people's minds. Just drink this album artwork in. Alright? And you have a person in the comments saying beautiful. Get the fuck out of here. So this picture, if you can't understand what it means symbolically, and yes it does mean something, this is the Matrix. This is a representation of the fucking Matrix. And look, there's an insectoid right here. Here's an insectoid. Here's, I believe, a 9-pointed star. or an 8-pointed star. They're demons. They're fucking demons. This is the kind of shit they make. They're ancient insectoid worm demons. Look, there's a worm right there. And they're not just worms. It's not just worms. It's all kinds of insectoids. Basically every insect that you can find on the planet. There's a slug, a sock. The guy has an obsession with feet. He's a parasite. Do you see how there's a guy taking a shower and there's like this matrix of showers? They're sick fucking beings. Only one of these parasites could make something like that. It's a parasite, bro. It's not a human. You have to stop fucking pretending that these things are human. They're fucking parasites. This one's called... I'm so sorry. This one's called Weird Brainwasher Worm. So these are not people. And they're going to be outing themselves fully soon. So even if you don't know, they're going to make sure you know. Because they have to. They're fucking they're insectoids. You know them by their fruits. And they're not even good insectoids. They're like evil insectoids. So I'm going to show you something else. My mouth is really dry. There's also reptilians, but this is the insectoid side of the equation. There's so many different sides of the equation of this fucking machine. You have no idea. Some people could say, oh, it's just a kid. It's not. It's not just a kid. Here's this. More coded. This is they're saying look, it says anything you say about the insectoid parasites will be taken down. And they're fucking, you notice how it says end of the game? It's because these are the game player administrators. They're fucking disgusting. Look at this shit. There's a toilet car, there's cheese. They're talking in code. These are your human traffickers. These are your game players. It's all fake. So I'm not going to subject you to that. I'm just showing you that there's so many of these fake things. Just walking around, making music, pretending to be human, parasiting off of you, stealing your ideas. This is one that probably knows who I am. Okay? So, yeah. I think we'll end it there. So just wrapping up, I'm going to show you some additional stuff. Here's the song These Burgers by the Moldy Peaches. On their album cover you can see you have me, the White Rabbit. I came in the year 2002, and then that's after 9/11, which has to do with this whole thing, the White Rabbit included. And here's a song by them. I'll pull up the lyrics alongside. Here, I'll just read them. I'll read it. It's about the Matrix. When the world's got you down, rainy Sundays, sunny town, Tropicana, canned foods, botulism, damaged goods. See hipsters in the park, hair so styled, so dark, prefab molded hamburgers, I don't want a bite of yours. Do you see? These burgers are crazy. And this is the part that's very obvious. They don't like you, never will. They sleep you the happy pill, assimilation. So they think, send you to the naughty shrink. You just tell him lies, paranoia, bugs and flies. Bugs and flies. You don't like them, never did. I actually, I don't know. I just want them to stop fucking stealing my energy.
Hey dickhead, why don't you come over and lay down the bass fucking track? Because you're the best bass player in the world. And we figure since you're making an album, since you're like in the band for the money, that will let you put one bass line in.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no such thing as a harmless joke. There's no such thing as a gentle toke. There's no such thing as playing a jack who's got the crack. Who's got the crack? Mardi Gras came and went, all my money.
Okay. You gotta see it. You gotta see it to believe it. So I'm not calling this woman an insectoid. Pay attention to the lyrics and notice how they scream them. Paranoia, bugs and flies, you don't like them, you never did. Clip the wings that get you high, just leave them where they lie. If you want any more musical analysis for a short time longer, I might do that, but after this, I just wanted you to see that everything is connected to the Matrix. From the businesses, to the music, to everything. This is pretty comprehensive. All you have to do is have a little bit of patience with me because I'm being mentally tortured. And I don't know. It's kind of hard to talk when they're doing that to your brain.